Working in sales at a company that's about to go under is tough, huh?
My classmate, whom I reunited with on a business visit, laughed cheerfully.
And your sales figures seem pretty bad. Your salary must not be great either. That's why you're gonna be broke all your life.
He laughed out loud, looking amused. That's harsh. That's really rude, you know. I retorted a bit sharply. But that seemed to amuse him even more, and seeing my serious face, he burst into laughter.
Why are you mad? Don't get upset just because I'm telling the truth.
Unable to bear it, I decided to leave and grabbed my bag. I couldn't stand being in the same space as him for even a second longer.
Wait a sec. Oh, that reminds me. I'm about to become the president soon. Maybe then I'll hire you as my slave.
Slave, huh? He was doubled over with laughter at his own words. His behavior of being rude and constantly getting carried away is simply disgraceful. Moreover, he doesn't understand anything about this company or his position. I sighed deeply and decided to confront him with reality. I'm Michael Howard. I founded and manage an online retail company. I'm what you'd call a CEO, and now I can live a decent life, but I wasn't born into wealth. I never had the memory of getting a new game console, nor did we go on family vacations. Plus, I was sickly as a child, often in the hospital, which I think put extra strain on my family. Due to my poor health, I frequently missed school. Especially in elementary school, I missed a lot, which made it hard for me to fit in. I stood out in my class and was often ridiculed by my peers.
Look at him, too poor to even eat properly. That's why he's always sick.
I was often subjected to such heartless comments. It made me dread going to school. However, by the time I reached middle school, my health improved, and after advancing to high school, I finally started to enjoy it. The turning point was joining in extracurricular activities. I went to a local public high school and decided to change from the sickly, ridiculed me by joining the athletic team in my freshman year. Having never joined any team or done much physical activity before, I was worried if I could do well. But there, I met friends who understood my past. Our school might have been weak in track and field, but it had a great atmosphere, with strong camaraderie among the team members. They supported and cheered for me, never giving up or making fun of me, even when I could barely keep up with the practice. The online retail company I run as CEO was actually founded with those teammates from back then. After high school, I worked at a local company to support my family, but secretly dreamed of starting my own business. That dream became a topic of conversation when I met with my teammates, almost turning 30, and that led us to start the business together. Decades later, we're still working well together. One day, I had business at a fashion company and went for a visit. I announced my arrival at the reception and was shown to the waiting room.
Excuse me.
As I sat waiting, a man about my age came in with a casual greeting. The moment I saw him, unpleasant memories from elementary and middle school flashed through my mind. Despite the years, I recognized him instantly. His name is Andrew Klein. He is my schoolmate from those days. After middle school, Andrew had moved away to attend a prestigious private high school, so this was our first meeting since the graduation ceremony. It was a reunion with an old classmate. but I wasn't feeling great about it. Because Andrew was the one who used to mock me back in school. His father was a company president, and he always boasted about being wealthy, making fun of my family situation. He would talk about how fun the latest games were or how fascinating abroad trips could be, ending with a laugh, saying, "I guess that's nothing to a poor guy like you, ho." I remember the president's last name here was Klein. That connected the dots with Andrew in front of me. I didn't know what company his father ran, but I never imagined I'd run into him on a business trip.
Hello.
Andrew didn't seem to recognize me and just greeted curtly. Standing up, I reminded myself I was here for business, greeting him amidst the tension. "Michael Howard, nice to meet you."
Michael Howard?
Andrew frowned, scrutinizing my face. Then, his eyes lit up as if he realized something.
Hey, weren't we in the same school?
Andrew laughed in a slightly mocking way as he spoke. The vibe was exactly like it used to be. I never thought it would come back to me so quickly. I assumed I was just another forgettable person to him. But frankly, that would have been preferable. I was reluctant to talk, but reminding myself it was over 20 years ago, I decided to act like an adult with Andrew. "So it really is you, Andrew. Long time no see."
You knew it, didn't you? It's well known back home that I'm the son of this company's owner, after all.
Andrew was still boastful as ever. I hadn't known until now, maybe because I had avoided him and hadn't kept up with the information about him, so it was probably just me being unaware. Not sure if it was really well known, I just smiled vaguely to cover it up.
But man, you still look as poor as ever. Don't come to the company in such cheap clothes.
Actually, they're not that cheap, though.
Well, I guess anything feels expensive to a poor guy like you.
I was surprised and appalled that Andrew, even as an adult, would start mocking me like in the old days. It really made me realize that a person's character doesn't change easily.
So, what brings a guy like you to our company?
Andrew asked with a smirk, so I quickly shifted to business talk, tilting my head slightly in inquiry. Hadn't you heard anything from the person in charge? Or, where is that person?
They said something, but I wasn't really listening. Looks like they're running late, so I came instead. Got to support the staff as the boss's son, right?
He said so, but I doubted he was truly offering support. Considering he ignored the business details, I wondered what was going on, but it wasn't my place to point it out, so I kept quiet.
So, what do you need?
I brought some documents from our company today. As I took out the materials from my bag, Andrew grabbed them quickly, glancing over them.
An online retail company. You work here, huh? What? You doing sales?
No, not exactly sales. Just wanted to get our company known.
I don't care to know about your company. Never heard of it anyway.
Andrew only glanced at the materials before tossing them onto the table carelessly. It was clear he hadn't really looked at it. Yet, I started to get angry because it felt like he was not only putting me down but also bad-mouthing my company. Talking with Andrew any further would be a waste of time. Realizing that the conversation wouldn't progress with him, I decided to silently wait for the person I was supposed to meet and sat down. Seeing this, Andrew snorted.
Hey, what are you sitting down for like you own the place?
I'm waiting for the person I have an appointment with.
Huh? You really won't leave even when treated like trash. You must really want to do business with my company, huh? Let me guess, without our deal, your company is going to tank, right?
What? No, that's not it.
Struggling in sales is tough, huh? And you seem like you're doing poorly. Salary can't be great, right? That's why you'll always be broke.
Andrew burst into laughter, seeming to enjoy himself. I sighed at his behavior. Like I said before, I'm not in sales.
So what are you doing then? With your weak health and bad grades, what can you do besides apologizing to everyone?
That's a terrible thing to say. That's disrespectful to me and to salespeople in general. I responded firmly to Andrew. However, that seemed to amuse him even more, and he laughed loudly, seeing my serious face.
What? Getting mad because I spoke the truth? If you're going to be mad, blame your parents.
Stop it, that's enough. I have nothing more to talk about with you. I think I better leave. Unable to tolerate Andrew mocking even my parents, I picked up my bag to leave. I couldn't stand being in the same space as him. Then, Andrew, seeing me getting ready to leave, spoke as if trying to hold me back.
What? I thought you were waiting for your appointment. You better do your sales right, or your company is going to collapse, huh?
I told you, I'm not in sales, and we're not going to collapse.
Don't be so defensive. You know what? As a former classmate, let me make you a great offer.
A great offer.
Yeah, a really great one. My dad is getting old and probably retiring soon. And then I'll be the president of this company.
Andrew stood in front of me, arms crossed and smirking.
Once I become the president, how about I hire you as my slave? By then, your company will probably be bankrupt, and you'll be jobless.
Slave, huh? Watching Andrew laugh at his own words, my anger turned to sheer disbelief. His rudeness and arrogance were just pathetic. And he had no clue about this company or his own position. With a deep sigh, I decided to confront him with reality. Sorry to break it to you, Andrew, but you're not going to be president, because I'm going to be the one leading this company. Andrew looked at me dumbfounded. And then he pointed at me and started laughing.
What? You're kidding, right? That's not even a good joke, man.
It's no joke. Maybe you should check with the president. You'll be working under me, Andrew.
Come on. A president in cheap clothes like that, where do they do that?
While Andrew was laughing even harder, we heard a knock. Before we could respond, the door opened, and a stern-looking man entered our room.
Dad. Oh, hey. But why are you here?
Andrew, who had been all puffed up, suddenly panicked and greeted at the sudden appearance of his father, Calvin Klein, the president of the company.
Good timing, though. This guy's been joking about becoming the president. Say something, Dad, will you?
As Andrew said this, the president glared at him with furrowed brows and spoke sternly.
Who do you think you are speaking to like that?
Dad.
Andrew was taken aback by the sudden outburst. Calvin, it's okay. Your son and I were schoolmates.
Oh, really? Still, I apologize for being so rude to someone who is going to be president.
What, president? What do you mean? Are you really going to be our president?
Andrew looked utterly bewildered and shocked. But whether he understood it or not, The truth was that I was going to be the president of this company, no joke involved. In fact, the company had been doing poorly in sales and was on a downward trajectory. It was on the brink of bankruptcy. The president, realizing this, had approached my company, successful in online retail, to ask if we could buy them out. Today was supposed to be for preliminary discussions with the company's representative about the acquisition. My bringing company documents wasn't for sales or anything. It was just to share information about my company. I thought it was best to discuss more about what kind of company the acquisition target was for future reference.
I came to apologize for the delay and greet you, but I never expected things to be like this.
The president glared fiercely and informed Andrew about the acquisition, explaining that I would become the president of this company.
What? You never mentioned such a thing.
It wasn't something that could be resolved by talking to you.
But normally, you'd discuss it with the son who's supposed to be the next president.
Andrew claimed he had heard something from the representative before coming here, but he probably just ignored it since it wasn't his father speaking. Given his character, it's no wonder the president, his own father, didn't trust him and kept him out of the loop regarding the acquisition.
I can accept this. After all, this company is in fashion. Having a president dressed in such cheap-looking clothes would be embarrassing in front of business partners.
Did you really not understand that?
The moment Andrew ridiculed my clothes, the president's face tensed, turning pale. In reality, my attire, though simple, was made of high-quality material and was not cheap at all. I had deliberately chosen to wear something nice, knowing I was visiting a fashion company. It seemed the president had not expected his son to be so clueless and was disappointed in his capabilities.
What have you been learning all this time? Did you really think you could become the next president like this?
Don't be so mad. I've been doing my best in my own way.
Andrew tried to talk back, but his gaze wandered.
I was planning to ask Michael to let you stay with the company, but I've changed my mind.
That's unfair. You can decide just based on one incident.
I will talk to the employees and investigate you properly. We need to clean up this company before the acquisition.
After the president told Andrew this, he slumped down, defeated. Then, I was asked by the president to discuss further, leaving Andrew aside as I exited the room. Later, the official acquisition was announced, and I took over as the president. However, Andrew was nowhere to be seen in the company. He had been fired before I took over. Following that incident, the president conducted an investigation among the employees to understand his son's true conduct. It turns out that because he was the president's son, the employees had been silent, but Andrew's behavior was reportedly atrocious. He was arrogant, claiming his future presidency. It seems he proposed various ideas, which the president thought were ambitious but were actually stolen from other employees. The president, furious upon learning this, deemed Andrew unnecessary for the company and ousted him. From what I've heard, he was also kicked out of his family home and now lives in a shabby apartment, scraping by as a day laborer. As for me, I've entrusted my previous company to my friends and co-founders, focusing now on revitalizing this company. Though it's a different industry and there are challenges, I'm learning a lot from the former president and employees, enhancing my expertise. Utilizing my experience from founding my own company and our online retail business, I believe we're making progress in increasing sales. I aim to leverage the strengths of this company to create something that many people will appreciate and enjoy.